All right, welcome to another Kaladesh Remastered draft with me, Jerupidus, and let's take a look at what we got here. A lot of multiple color, but still, I would say, in the consideration for first pickable cards. Aether Swooper is pretty good, but I think I just like the Pyrohelix. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, Metallic Mimic early is pretty interesting. But it's tough to pass a Long Tusk Cub. It's just a really strong 2-drop. That 2-drop can win the game by itself if you get rolling with it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Cub. Okay, well, there's an aerial responder, but there's also a welding sparks, and I think I'm just taking the sparks here. I think Pyrohelix and sparks are good enough for me to keep taking red cards. So let's do that. Okay, now there's a Whirler Virtuoso. Whirler Maker is good, but I don't think it's that good. Or I could just take the Riparian Tiger. It does produce energy. But Virtuoso is quite strong. Is it worth leaving behind the Cub to take the Virtuoso? I think I'm going to stay red-green and just take this 5-drop. Oh, wait, there's Aether Chaser? Let's just take that. That pairs with Cub really nicely. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, and a Thriving Rhino? Perfect. Alright, I don't know if I want Sage of Shalia's Claim, but it doesn't look like anything else here is going to be particularly appealing, so I think I'm just going to take it. I think I'll just take the Built to Smash. We probably won't end up with very many artifact creatures, but +3/+3 is still a giant growth, so I think that'll end up being fine, and I will take a Weldfast Monitor here. It's pretty fillery, but I think you could do worse at 3. And speaking of giant growth, I think I'm going to take the energy card. I think that actually ends up being a little bit better in our deck than Built to Smash will be, but we'll see. I probably, in a red-green deck, do want a card like that. All right, nothing much for me here. I guess I'll take Destructive Tampering. That may actually even end up making my deck. Kind of depends on if I don't end up with enough Trample or Evasion, then I'll probably just play a Destructive Tampering. Because it turns out that doing a really big swing with a bunch of huge things on the ground and making your opponent unable to block can kill them, for sure. So right now, with the double High Spire Infusion, I think I won't play Built to Smash. It looks like we're going to be caring about energy. I'll just take the rare. I don't think I want a Workshop Assistant. Man, it's actually a little bit interesting. I think I'm going to take the turret, actually. Ooh. Kind of wish I had gone red-blue now. I think it's a little late for that, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to splash. So let's stay focused on our energy sub-theme and just basically being a stompy deck. So speaking of Trample, we do have a Pima Outrider, and that card is pretty good. Just a 4/4 Trample for 4 mana is a very reasonable rate. But there is also Untethered Express, and that might actually even be better. That card is quite ridiculous. So yeah, let's just grab the Untethered Express. I think that's great in a Stompy deck. I do like a Blossoming Defense, and I do want like something like a Riparian Tiger at some point. But Blossoming Defense is just so efficient. You can use it to beat a removal spell or win a combat, so I think we're just going to take that over the Riparian Tiger for now. I think Seed Sculptor is totally fine. A second Untethered Express, though. I don't know how many of those you actually want. I should probably just take the reasonable 2-drop. Maybe that's crazy. Maybe it's completely insane to take a Seed Sculptor over an Untethered Express. You know what? It is. Let's take 2 of these. Wow. Well, I think we found the seat. Go ahead and grab that. Oh, Fatal Push. Come on. Why? So, Reservoir Walker is not good, but it does do the thing that we want. How likely are we to control an artifact? Like, not super, but Inventor's Apprentice isn't a terrible card. It might just be Wild Wanderer, though. It's between Apprentice and Wild Wanderer. I think I'm just going to take Apprentice. Ooh, Hunt the Weak. See, we'd rather have... we'd rather have, I think Riparian Tiger, honestly, at this point, like, it's the 5-drop we want, but Hunt the Weak is hard to pass. How are we doing on creatures? 7, so we need to take a bunch of creatures. Probably for the rest of this pack, and at least some in the next one. So, now that we have Apprentice, Skyskiff is kind of looking interesting. So, I think I'll just take it. Fireweaver doesn't seem like what we want to be doing, and kind of neither does Wild Wanderer. I don't need any more combat tricks, but if I was to take one... I guess it would probably be Blossoming Defense. It just does a little bit more. Okay. Well, we are in the market for a 5-drop, and Lifecraft Cavalry is fine, but not great. But it does have Trample, and there's our Riparian Tiger. That's awesome. Let's just take that. That's actually better than Lifecraft Cavalry for us, but we may end up playing both. Yeah, I've never had a Demolition Stomper make my deck. I'm going to take a tune now. So I'm not really sure what deck you even want that in. All right, not much for us here. There is a Chandra's Revolution, which I think is perfectly fine. We have 2 5-drops already, and we probably don't want too many more than that. And if it was going to be one, it wouldn't be Lifecraft Cavalry. So let's just take the Revolution. Scrapper Champion is probably something we're interested in. I would like the Tiger because I think that would do a good job of replacing Cavalry, but we do have some room at 4, and this card is pretty ridiculous. Like, you just can't ignore it. And because it just has straight up double strike, it's solid on defense as well. So I think we're just going to grab that. Plus I have like multiple pump spells to make it deal 1,000,000 damage out of nowhere. I don't think I'm playing any of these cards. Still needs to be a creature, though. I mean, technically we have these vehicles, but I still want, like, more creatures than this. I don't think I want, like, multiple Inventor's Apprentices. In fact, I may not even want the first one, but there's not really any great green cards, so I'll just take another Chandra's Revolution, but I don't think I'll play 2. Yeah, I'll take a Sage now. My energy is getting good, so I guess I would like to not play Consulate Turret. Okay. So I didn't end up with a Pima Outrider, and I do actually kind of want one of those. And it may be better than one Untethered Express. Like, I don't know how many of those I actually want to play. There's also another Scrapper Champion. It does give energy. I think I'm just going to take the energy card. Okay, I actually think Arborback Stomper is going to end up being more along the lines of what I want than Lifecraft Cavalry, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I definitely don't want a second Attune. Ooh, there's an Outland Boar. I think that's what we want. Yeah, it's looking to me like I don't want too many vehicles. It's possible I should just cut everything but like one Untethered Express, because I want enough creatures and they don't provide energy. They're just really good attackers. And we kind of have that already. Is this better than just a Weldfast monitor? I kind of don't think so. The Death Toucher would actually probably be a pretty reasonable replacement for the Apprentice, so let's do that. I kind of like something that's going to hold them back while I bash with things that are bigger than theirs. I'm a little shocked that I didn't end up ever getting a Pima Renegade. Like, I hate passing those, but it's just kind of the way it went. That's kind of interesting. May end up being better than the monitor, but I think we're just going to play it like this. Yep, I could have as many of those as I want. Okay, so let's see. What looks suspect? I have like 4 combat tricks. That seems like kind of a lot. So would I rather like beat removal or just have more energy? And the way that my deck is looking, between the Cub, the Brawler, Rhino, and Scrapper Champion, I'm going to want to be using energy like a lot. So I think I'm going to cut one of these. I think playing one is still reasonable with my double strikers, but I don't think 4 combat... I think 4 combat tricks is like too many. We did end up with a decent amount of trample, so destructive tampering may not be necessary. Yeah, so I ended up with Riparian Tiger, Arborback Stomper. I can't grant this trample, and making them unable to block this thing with a pump spell does seem pretty insane. This is kind of off plan, right? That puts me to 13 creatures plus an Untethered Express. That's kind of light. And I guess I really wouldn't want to ever play this on 3. Do I have anything better to do on 3? Honestly, I think... well, first of all, I think I'm going to play 16 lands, and then... I think I like the Consulate Turret. Like, I do need a way to keep producing energy to keep pressuring. And the first turn you play it, by the time you get back to your attackers, which is where I'm going to be wanting to use my energy anyway, I've already made 2, which is enough for another activation of several of these cards, if not all of them. And then also is a little bit of reach. So I actually kind of like that. All right, let's try it like this. All right, a 2 and a couple of 4s. Sure. Wish I was on the play, but nothing you can do about that. All right, something to do before I play my Scrapper Champion is nice. Yeah, more energy. More energy is good. So, would I rather play Brawler or Chaser? It kind of feels like if they're red-blue, they're going to have things like Chandra's Pyrohelix, but that also just kills Brawler. It's more likely I'll get to just straight up attack with Aether Chaser. This is going to end up being a 4-3, and if they have one more thing, then I kind of can't swing with it. Whereas if they want to double block Aether Chaser, I get to trade with something and leave a 1-1 behind. Okay, well I don't have a pump spell right now, so I can't attack. So it looks to me like I'm just going Attune. Get myself a green. Brawler. No attacks. And now we have quite a bit of energy, and we get to have Chandra's Revolution, and I might even get to shut them off of red for a turn, which would be pretty sweet if they don't have a mountain here. Alright, and I am probably most interested in just killing Kari Zev. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And we will take all the actions. Yep, we're going to make a bunch more energy next turn anyway. And I think Minister is probably the more dangerous of the two cards. So I'm... like, I don't love that trade, but I'm fine with it. Would I like to block here? It is 4, and I feel like the 1-1 is a little useless. Let's do that. Because I'm trying to race. So I think I can send this. And if they want to trade, that's fine, and I'll just drop a Scrapper Champion. They are very low on cards. The other option is I could double spell here. Like, I could play Monitor and Renegade. I guess I would have done that if they had blocked, so let's just play the 4-mana card. Okay, this is a pretty hard hit. Puts me to 9. I do like getting to double spell here. I think that's huge. Get you for 4. And then let's go Champion. And the Renegade. And then I can even double spell again next turn. And I think I do need to block here. Yep, let's jam. And I will gladly make that trade. And now, if I do this, I have 7. Yeah, I think I still want to play the Monitor. Because the turret is immediately 2 damage. So if I menace... I mean, this is just lethal. So I think I just go for it. They have 1 card left. All right, we did it. That was scary. They could have had the Aether Meltdown. And that would have been really unfortunate on that play. But I feel like when they got one card, you just want to go for it. Okay. Ooh, I love being on the play, so let's go ahead and keep this. This could be a pretty gross curve out if I just draw like one thing to do between Brawler and Untethered Express. Yeah, I'm going to jam this because Brawler will immediately get to trigger it and have it send as a 3/3. Yeah, and they don't want to block with that, so... I can do this anytime, right? Alright, I do need to draw a land here, but... High Spire Infusion will let me keep pressing. Okay. So... I'm in a little bit of danger. I need to be careful. I mean, realistically, I can just send both. And if they don't block, I may do this anyway just because it's so much damage. And I have another one, and I don't really have any other plays this turn. So it kind of feels like I might as well. Alright, so they're probably leaving up a removal here. And I can't both cast High Spire Infusion and Narnum Renegade. So I think what I'll do is use my energy. I'm not going to High Spire Infusion here because I just feel like it's pretty bad in the face of a removal spell. Yeah, that happens. And I think I'm better off just recasting it. I can immediately get it up to a 3/3. If my lands were cooperating a little more, I would have been able to get that Renegade down, but I think this just threatens a lot more damage. Yeah, so that means we are definitely racing. Because that card does represent inevitability, but I do have some amount of evasion here. So I probably want to swing both. But do I want to take this action? I think so, because I will get 2 more for the Cub. I'm fine with that. Then I'll just play another guy. What does that even do? Discard a card. Well, it can be one of these 5-drops. I feel like I won't need the life gain. And I should have a fairly reasonable amount of energy. It's definitely close. Yeah, it's going to be one of the 5-drops. Let's keep the life gain guy, just in case I end up not drawing lands for a long time. And they don't know it, but they might be dead here. So, yeah, I think I just grow the Brawler. And that leaves them at 2 with a 1/1 for a blocker. Okay, opponent goes up to 4. But these are not good blockers. Okay, 5 mana is good. But I think I want to play the Express this turn just to get more trample. Although Arborback... So this will be 5/5 trample. This will be a 5/4. So the Express is better, but the Arborback is more efficient. Also, I could just play the Scrapper to get the energy to be able to trigger both my cards. Okay, so let's play the land. Now, if I get Cub up to a 3/3... I do have the possibility of making it a 4/4, but then I can't make Voltaic Brawler bigger. So that's kind of tough. So I think I'm actually... Yeah, I'm just going to play the Champion. And I'm going to swing with the Cub. And I guess I'll swing with the Renegade. I kind of would trade that. Well, they get to draw a card, so I don't really want to make a trade there. They would have to block with all 3 to kill the Cub here. It would be a 4/4. And I'd be able to just kill Theorist and the 1/1. How good is that? Not very. I think I actually just attack everything. They have to block kind of specifically here, so... Like, they can't just all gang up on 1 this way. Because they have to account for the 4/3. So then they end up drawing a card, but they lose everything. Meanwhile, I lose my Renegade, which is not great for me, but I think this puts them in a pretty tough spot to be able to account for everything. I mean, that makes blockers, but you still have to account for the Brawler, and I get to put down more trample, which is going to be pretty good, I think. Okay. So I don't even need to put... Well, I guess I kind of do need to put a counter on Champion, which kind of makes attacking with Cub bad. Yeah, so what we'll do is attack like this, and we'll use all 3 of our energy. Yep. And so now we lose our trample guy in this exchange, but we just play another one. Draw 3, but I don't know if that gets you out of this. Yes. It was kind of tense there. Little tense. On the draw again, but I think 1-drop, 2-drop, and a couple of tricky cards is worth keeping. We'll see if Destructive Tampering ends up pulling its weight in our deck, or if I'm a complete idiot. We'll jam our 3-2 and hope that that thing lives. Yeah, it is an interesting question where to put this. I think you definitely do Hawk, though. Alright, so now we've got some tricks, some dipping and diving here, so let's get in. Yeah, I'll take my damage, and I think I'll just pass. We have a defense to beat a removal. That is a fine card for you to play. Okay, so they don't attack. So I probably want to use Blossoming Defense to win this combat in some way. I probably would just trade Renegade for Eddy Trailhawk. Alright, they're at 9. Boy, I sure wish I could play a creature. So next turn I will have 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, 7, 8 from Helix. Looks like we're just going to play Arborback Stomper, but I am going to just leave up my instants. And unfortunately, with Whirlermaker and the Eddy Trailhawk, Tampering is not looking great. That's a good card. Alright, so this crew's for 1, so I can't even really take out the Seed Sculptor. Do I want to use Helix now? I could kill the Seed Sculptor, but they can still block with a 4/4. I could just swing with the 1/2. That puts them to 8. And I want to play the Stomper. I don't think I'm playing Helix on anything. So what could I do? I could go Tampering here. That's so close, but I think I just dropped the Stomper. I may actually even want to leave this back just in case they want to attack with Express. Yeah. I think so. And now next turn I think I can cast... Yeah, I can cast all 3 of my cards, and that should be enough to kill them, I would think. Yeah, they can only block one thing. Oh, especially if they're going to attack with this. Yep, no blocks. Alright. I'm pretty sure this wins the game, so... We'll attack for 9. And then they can only block with Eddy Trailhawk. So let's go Blossoming Defense. And I don't think there's any way they can get me for just 1 green. Oh no, is that only 3? Oh dear, I guess I should have done a little bit more math than that. So now I have to find a way to get 1 damage through. And it's not gonna happen. Unless I come up with some sort of miracle here, I might just be dead. So they have 6, 7, 8 toughness. Oh man, is this exactly it? They have 6. Oh, but they can still crew the Express. So they have technically 10 toughness. But if they crew the Express, they've only got 1 blocker. Okay, well, we have to go for it. And they don't know that they can't take 1 damage, so... I think it might be happening. So they are taking 1. I don't think there's any way for them to not take 1. GG. Boy, that eagle almost got me. Yikes. This looks good to me. And we're even on the play. I can't believe it. Oh my god, we're curving. Curving and swerving. Yep, this curve is just absolutely obnoxious. Man, should Untethered Express even be in my deck? And I think I'm just going to go to damage. Okay. I mean, Yeah, that curve out is super ridiculous. But I was going to say, I think I'm just going to go to damage because they could Welding Sparks me in response to putting the counter on Long Tusk Cub. We're on the draw, but we do have a turn 2 Long Tusk Cub into Sage, which is pretty good. And if I rip a mountain, we're in business. So I'm going to keep this. It may not work out. If I draw any land, I have the ridiculousness. Oh no. I always lose to this card. This thing can't block, right? Yeah, let's just play the Cub. But Scrap Heap Scrounger is just so good in draft. Just a forever 3-2 attacker. Alright, you got a 3-1. So, if that's true... should I just swing into it with Long Tusk Cub? It might be better to just make a 2-1 first strike blocker. I mean, I can't block it. So, yeah, let's see what they do. And if they trade, I think I'm just going to drop Aether Chaser to not fall behind in this race here. Okay, that's fine. That just, like, draws some cards, so it's not a huge deal. I think I like this. I'm going to take that action because I'm going to drop Untethered Express, and then the 1-1 can crew it. And then I get to just drop fatty after fatty here. That seems pretty good. Yep, nothing I can do about that. Okay. That's the energy one. I kind of would like the life gain guy, but I think I need a double spell here to catch back up. Because it feels like if I just play Riparian Tiger and they have a way to remove it, I'm just like too far behind to ever catch back up. If I can double spell it, at least means I've got some blocks. I'm pretty okay with that. That does not seem like a big deal to me at all. So once again, I kind of want a double spell, and I think I'm just going to drop the Express because it's a little slower to get going. But they do have a lot more cards than me, so I'm not in love with this spot. Sure. And I imagine... oh, they'll probably just do it on end step? Okay. Alright, another land is not great. So, my 5/5 can't really compete with these. And I don't want to trade it for just Foundry Inspector or something. So I think I'm just dropping the tiger. But I don't like not attacking. Like, it's not good for me because with a deck like this, I feel like the late game is going to favor them a lot more than it favors me. And let's see, can they get the Scrounger back right now? No, they can't. They can hit me for 2 flying, but that's not the end of the world. And I have double 4/4 blockers. That's actually a really good draw. So I think I just jam with both. I would trade for the Fen Hauler, and then I can just drop a Stomper. I don't really want to trade my Untethered Express, but it doesn't look like it's going to get much better than this. And this is a lot of damage. Okay, they actually left the Express alone. So this is not super relevant. Any more than like 5 power is. So I think I'm just going to play the more expensive card. And now my Express gets to be a 6/6, which is kind of a big deal. All right. I don't love that, but I have some time here to do the thing. No reason not to send Scrounger. It can't block anyway. Man, I don't really want to trade Stomper for a 2/4, do I? And Express is going to be a 6/6 coming in. So let's think about this. If they want to double block Stomper, I can hit for 5. I think I'm attacking all. Like, if they want to just block Sage, Sage isn't really doing much for me anyway. And for now, then, they can't crew. Oh, wait, never mind. They get to keep the Peafowl, but... And I think that's kind of what my situation in hand is telling me to do, is just, like, get in there. All right, you have a 10/10. That seems awesome. Well, I can just kill the Peafowl. And that gets me able to block Metalwork Colossus, although I wouldn't do that. I think it's worth killing their creature, though. The problem is I'm dead in a couple of attacks to Untethered Express. But I don't think this is getting any better. Would I rather have it on this or the Trample? I guess the Trample. And now I can hit for like 4 here, but I just don't think that does anything. All right, that does not help you too much. Oh. It's so close. I can do 7. So what? They could get back Scrap Heap, block with this, and then I have like no damage. I honestly feel like I have never once beaten Scrap Heap Scrounger. Every single time someone's played that on 2, I'm like, I'm screwed. This game is all over. Can never beat this card. Honestly, I'm kind of glad they did that instead of doing the Whirler Maker. Can they get back? Implement. All kinds of stuff. Can't block. Because these 2 creatures are the only way that I can win this game. So they have 2 blockers. Technically 3, but the Whirlybird doesn't do anything. So what if I attack both? They don't know that they have to block both. But I would have to block Metalwork Colossus. Scrap Heap Scrounger can't block, so they would activate Untethered Express. But that doesn't necessarily mean they would block both. But I think I have to just attack both here. Because if they come in with Colossus, I've got to block that. I lose my creature. I get hit for like... Oh yeah, I get hit for 9. So this attack is my only chance. And I have to just hope that somehow... they just put like a 1/1 on Arborback Stomper or something. Yeah, so that's 7 toughness. If I make this 9, that's 4. So yeah, they got me. Okay. Got kind of flooded, but I feel like I did all of the best things that I could do to win that game. All right, on the draw again, but we have a pretty sweet curve out here, so we're definitely keeping this. Yep, no huge decisions here. The life gain on Authority is going to be a little annoying. So it looks like I'm leaving Renegade back, then I don't want to trade it for a 1/1. But my 4/3 is going to get through. Then we'll drop the Sage. And a Forest. And I think Boar is going to be pretty strong on this board, it looks like to me. Oh, that's huge. I really want to play Boar, but... What are the chances they triple block Voltaic Brawler? Like, pretty high? And if they do that, I kind of want a High Spire Infusion. I could, however, just take the trade and drop the Boar. Because playing High Spire Infusion this turn doesn't feel that efficient. So this is a tough choice. I'm going to attack with everything to encourage them to not triple block Brawler. And I think I'm just going to drop Boar. It seems hard for them to block. And I have enough energy for now for Brawler to keep getting in. Yeah, like they just straight up can't block Boar. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and win this combat. This is a ton of damage, too. And it also puts them conveniently at 4, which they currently can't block Boar on. And then Voltaic Brawler is also 4 trample. So it means they have to make some blocks that they don't want to. Yep, we'll send. Sure. Now the big question is, would I want to double spell here? And I think the answer's no. They only have 2 cards left, so I think I'm actually just going to not play anything. To play around like some kind of sweeper. Okay. Because if they have some kind of sweeper, then I could just drop 2 more cards. If I play both and they play a sweeper, I probably just lose. Alright, we're sitting at 5-1 here, and this hand is great. We are on the draw again. But with a hand like this, I'm not too concerned. I do kind of need Longtusk Cub to, like, live, right? Like, if that dies, I'm not really doing anything. But if it does, I could probably just run them over with literally just Longtusk Cub. Red-green is concerning, especially since I'm on the draw. So if I'm lucky, they will play something that I can hunt here. If I'm unlucky, they'll just kill Cub. Okay, I can't quite hunt the weak that. So let's think about this. I guess I could just Welding Sparks it. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Because if I hit them with Cub, then I can just get this thing rolling. Now the question is, do I want to use the energy now? Because that could play around some things, but I don't think it plays around enough things to do. Alright, so what could they have? A lot, actually. I don't really want to hunt that. So I think I'm just going to go to combat. So that's 4. And I think I'm just going to play the turret. Sage is interesting. Gets me to 7. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And the reason is because the more energy I get, the more ability I have to beat them on something like a Welding Sparks. Three damage, so let's pump it. And they probably should have done that in response to something earlier than now. And so now Harness Lightning could be something like 6. But I'm attacking for enough where I don't think I want to do anything else. Yep, and let's play the Tiger. And so, what? It could be 7? So I still can't quite beat a Harness Lightning, so I'm not going to waste all the energy. But I like my spot here. Yeah, I think they're just dead now. Yeah, that's fine. You're at 1. What you got? All right. Oh, we are sitting at 6-1, and we are on the play for the trophy game. Let's go. I have 2 tries to get a trophy, but I really hope it only takes me 1. If it takes me 3 tries, I don't get 1 at all. I would like a 3-drop or, you know, drawing another land to be guaranteed to play something on 4 here. But Cup plus Highspire Infusion is going to be sweet. Oh, but there's a Weldfast monitor. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play that because if I win with Highspire Infusion here, it's not super likely I get to attack next turn, and I think just playing another creature is going to be decent. Like, I don't get the energy. I mean, I do get the energy from Highspire Infusion, but I feel like my attack this turn will be better. Yeah, like, I will trade 3 life for 2, no problem. And now they just played a Welding Sparks, which kind of makes me interested in playing a 4-4. I think I'm just going to do that. All right. So let's play our Forest first. Then let's go Revolution. I guess we'll tap a red. And attack for 7. Okay, that's kind of a weak response. But it does give them a lot of mana next turn. Okay. So I play the land. I have 6 mana. I could just swing with the 4/4. So the problem is if I grant Menace... So maybe I just don't grant Menace? That makes sense to me. Let's do that. I was going to say, if I grant Menace, then I can't cast both my spells. And if they just want to single block me... If they double block... I think I take the 2 for 2. Let me think about this. It'll be a 6/5. And then just drop Scrapper Champion. They have 3 cards left. Alternatively, I could just trade, put them to 3, and drop Scrapper Champion. Leaving them the Seed Sculptor, which currently can't block the Boar. And then have Highspire Infusion for something else. I think I'm going to do that. Because now I can use Highspire Infusion to maybe beat a removal spell. And going for the 2 for 2 there with having 1 card left, playing my final card, and them having 4 cards left and 6 mana, feels like I would be relying a little bit too much on the top of my library to deliver. But we'll see. I mean, if they double spell here, it's a little bit tough. It's 3 damage. I'm going to try it. Okay. So now you got a 3/4, so I can still just send the Boar. That's not a good draw. Would I trade the Champion for the 3/4 while putting them to 2? I guess I could, like, still put them to 2 and keep my Champion, right? But a land is not a good draw, so I need to draw something. That's pretty good, but it doesn't block the Boar. So now they have to put the 3/4 in front of it. Which means I can kind of freely attack with Scrapper Champion as well. It would still... They would have to block with a lot of stuff. 3/3 double strike. Yeah, I think I'm jamming here. Okay. That's pretty bad for me. I do need to draw, like, a creature then. That's no good. Alright, so they do get to resolve this eventually. Creature, come on! Okay. Now I literally have to draw a creature next turn or I just lose. That'll work. I'm going for it. Come on, baby. Yes! Trophy! That's pretty exciting. I'm glad I get to share it with you. 7-1 is not too shabby. Yeah, that took me from having a good day to having a great day. Wow. All right. Well, you saw the power of the red-green Stompy energy deck just there. It was real good. And I had a lot of fun playing it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. That's going to be all the time I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next draft.